left.
Okay. Should I start my honorable mentions?
Okay. You start wherever you want to.
All right. I guess I'll follow your lead and I'll do the honorable mentions. All right. First up, Time Shift. No.
Yeah, you would have pissed me off so much.
One of the ones that I have on my honorable mentions, I want to say Crash Bandicoot 3, the third one. I'm not sure if you played.
What is it?
The one I played Warped.
Warped is the
Wrath
third
of
one.
Okay, yeah, I played Warped.
Yeah, Warped is, out of my opinion, my favorite of the three. Gameplay wise, like I couldn't tell you for the life of me what the story for 3 is.
I don't know if anyone remembers the story.
I forget, but boy is it fun.
You had to travel through dimensions and do stuff, but I remember that game.
It's a lot of fun. It's definitely one of my honorable mentions. It's like I grew up playing that game. Like some people
I have
say
that on my PlayStation, like ready to go whenever.
Yeah, like some people say, oh man, Nintendo. I was all about that Zelda. I was all about that Crash Bandicoot. Let me tell you that.
Tell you a little something about Crash.
My honorable mentions are probably gonna go by pretty quickly. Red Dead Redemption. We already talked about that. That's all mine. I will say this. Like more recent, I won't not of all time, but an honorable mention is Destiny.
Yeah, I can see that.
No, I'm saying just an honorable mention. You don't think so?
I can respect that honorable mention.
Like I'm saying, I want to say, it just there was something about it that kept me playing. Like it's something about it that kept me playing, and that's why I want to keep it an honorable mention. And especially the multiplayer, it felt like a new experience. When I jumped into the multiplayer, I was expecting Halo or Call of Duty, but it felt like a whole new mechanic. To the point where, I remember you said, Tyler, at one point that the directors of Fallout 4 actually brought some people in from Destiny to help with the first-person shooter mechanics. Like that game, it did something new, which is an honorable mention, and at the same time kept bringing me in.
Here's the thing. I love the beta for Destiny, don't get me wrong. Got me very excited to buy the game so much, in fact, that I bought the season pass, and then after a month I realized how much money I wasted, and I was grumpy about Destiny, and I'm fine never coming back to it.
I think that might be still why you're so grumpy, because you put so much money into it.
I was fine leaving Destiny, and I'm fine if I never come back to it.
I mean, I'm not going to fault you, because there are definitely games that I've pre-ordered and got the season pass when I got it, but Destiny, sometimes you got to make that judgment
Destiny
call.
is a reason why I don't buy season passes for games till I start to hear what's coming out.
That's fair.
Yeah, I feel like that should be a general concept for most people.
I did that for Tomb Raider and Fallout now.
Yeah, I'm going to do that for Fallout. I'm going to go home and buy the Fallout one.
Well, now you have to. Otherwise you'll have to pay $50 for it in the future.
Okay. Next up, sneaking. No, I'm just kidding. I feel like this is going to be on Carrick's list since he has tattoos of it on his wrist. BioShock.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I don't want to say that's my favorite game or like one of my top 5 because for me a lot of my top 5 is just games that were big to me in the earlier years or games that had special meaning to me. I genuinely enjoyed BioShock and the setting it was in and all the weapons it offered and the story. So I remember when Infinite was announced, I didn't play any of the BioShocks, and Infinite looked so cool that even though if it was its own story, I wanted to go back and play the other BioShock. So I played BioShock 1, I loved it. Played BioShock 2, not so great, but had a cool multiplayer feature and the drill function, and Infinite was fun. But BioShock 1, that was a home run. I just don't want to put it as one of my favorite games because I don't feel like I've played it enough. I played through it once.
Yeah, I played up till I forget the part. You got to do weird stuff for a guy, some doctor. You got to take photos of people after you do stuff to him. I made it to that part.
You got to get the snappies for Peach.
Yeah, it was. I liked it up to that point, but it wasn't
my favorite weapon.
That happens so much later.
I have one more.
What?
He's in the Neptune's Bounty.
That's what it's called.
Did you take the
pictures?
pictures?
It's Cohen. After that whole part in Fort Frolic.
Yeah, there we go.
I have one more honorable mention, and it's Skate.
Just the first Skate?
The first Skate. I want to say the first Skate is an honorable mention. I don't have any of the Skates in my top 5. Skate, it's one of those games, I don't want to make it one of my favorite games is because it didn't really grip me, it only gripped me in really one way, and that was gameplay. I didn't really care much for the story or, it was just the gameplay. It's one of those games where you can sit down and you can just play for hours and then just get lost in it. And it's one of those games like you can like if you've got to be at work in 30 minutes, like you don't want to jump into a story compelling game.
Yeah.
Because then you're gonna want to keep playing. But if Skate, you can just jump on Skate and play it till you have to
skate around a little bit.
Yeah.
Skate. The first Skate got me gameplay wise. It also got me graphically because the other games look drastically different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really do.
They look like cartoony.
They're like cell shaded cartoons.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. It was pretty good graphics wise, especially for its time.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I
Skate
feel
came
like
out 2007, right?
I think so.
yeah that game's great. Both playing on
Yeah,
like
2007 sounds about right.
yeah playing in the street and making it to the X Games. Like when you make it to the X Games, you feel like you made it. It's really great. All right. So I guess now that since I'm on the skate topic, one of my top favorite games is actually a skateboarding game, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
Yeah, that was
Like a
damn
stone
good.
tablet.
Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you guys played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4.
I
did.
only played 2 and 3.
I played hardly.
I wasn't
fourth one.
listening.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4, one of my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game, it's a lot of fun, like, arcade-wise. Like, there's just so much, like, it's just, you can jump 40 feet, you can just do crazy tricks that are obviously impossible. It had like really good voice acting in it for its time. It had really good voice acting in it, like when you talk to other skaters and stuff. The story was fun, like when you made it to each different level, like it was an arcade. It wasn't like it was like kind of like arcade based, but it was still every mission felt like it was just fun. Everything was different. Like besides like the combo and then the skate ones, there was just a lot of fun ones. Like at one point you have to jump on an elephant, and then he charges through a zoo, and like you unlock a new part of the area. There was a lot of fun stuff in that game.
All I remember
picking a Tony Hawk game, I picked like Underground.
I'd pick Underground.
I was gonna make that one of my honorable mentions.
Or American Wasteland.
Yeah, I was gonna make those my honorable mentions, but I didn't want to wrap it around skateboarding too much, so I just picked my favorite ones out of those.
All I remember from Tony Hawk 4 is I think that's the one where you can be the Neversoft eyeball. You can be Wolverine. I think you can be Darth Maul also.
That's neat.
You can be and then I think the one skater that costs like $1 billion and you can't actually get him unless you use a cheat code is like the hot chick or whatever.
Hey.
There's like a blonde girl. That's literally her name. I'm not saying that as like my personal opinion. It's called the hot chick, and it's just a blonde skateboarder.
Huh.
Yeah. But that's I want to say that's also one of my top 5, mainly for like nostalgia. Which I'm not sure is not fair or not, but there it is.
It's your top 5.
Yeah. I'm gonna jump back and forth between older games
Darius
and newer
already
games.
cheated.
Yeah. I already bent the rules a little bit.
Okay,
I'll limit
so
myself.
I guess I'll switch things up a bit. Skyrim is one of my top 5.
Oh yeah.
No?
I feel like you have to
you're,
give that game credit where it's due, because you did play that game a whole lot up
Here's the
until
thing.
you got out of the hook.
I'm saying that game is a good game. Yes. I did not like it after a while. I went, oh man, you can make armor and you can make dragon armor. That's sick as hell. So then I did, and then I went, I don't know what I want to do with this game anymore. And then I did nothing with that game.
That's
and that
fine.
was it.
You just fell out of the hook.
Yeah, you fell out of the hook.
I
Let
fell
me say
directly
this.
off the hook.
That game
I was off the hook.
That game was beautiful soundtrack-wise. Let me get that out the way first. Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you get the voice of SpongeBob to do the singing in your game.
Yeah.
The beautiful score.
Even, like, everybody says about Skyrim, like, oh, there's so many loading screens, which is true, especially on console.
Yeah.
Even when I'm sitting at a loading screen, I can just sit there and listen to the music, and it's worth it every time. Like that, just the music alone in that game is worth mentioning. That game the map is so big, like, you can just, like, head north and wander forever or whatever, and...
I think it takes like 45 minutes to get to each corner of the map across.
Yeah, and that's a long time. But, like, a lot of the mechanics I really liked, like when you steal, like when you pickpocket people and stuff, and you have stolen stuff in your inventory, you have to actually go to like a special merchant in the Thieves Guild to sell that stuff.
I've never understood that because, like, when you're selling it, do you go, "This was stolen," and they go, "All right, then we don't want it."
Yeah, I guess it doesn't.
Like, you're just brutally honest.
I guess it doesn't.
They can see it. Like, they can see the look on your face when you hand it to them. Like, this doesn't belong to you.
I'm just saying, it feels cooler when you
Be
steal
quiet
it.
about it, okay?
It feels feels cool. Like when you steal a bunch of stuff and then you can't just sell it to a regular merchant. So you have to go to the Thieves Guild and you go in this underground sewer and there's all these other thieves hanging out and you're like, bam, look at all the stuff I stole. Give me money or some dough.
Yeah.
Like it's...
Give me all
Skyrim,
of the dough.
Skyrim was going to be one of my honorables because of the hunting. Like I got my stealth up and I got a bitchin' bow and I would spend hours just wandering around shooting deer.
Yeah, I also. Me too.
Like I didn't do any of the story. I wouldn't do the story. I wouldn't talk to people. I wouldn't have a sword. I would just wander around the forest and kill deer for their hide.
It's also because the sword combat's boring as hell.
I think it's all right. I think Skyrim when Skyrim came out, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It's dated a bit now. It's still really good, and mods definitely make it worthwhile.
Well, Macho Man Randy Dragon is something I've never
Yeah, and
experienced in real
auto-tuned
life. I want
bears.
to- Yeah, these are things I want to experience in real life.
Two bears are the best.
Auto-tuned bears is awesome.
Or a Tommy Wiseau horse, because that's also hilarious.
So, I'll get on. I'll make my list kind of quick, I guess. The next one, I've mentioned this in, I think, the last podcast, Call of Duty 4.
We also knew that was going to be on your list.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
We did.
I
also can.
Yeah, I think I had mentioned this before, but it's one of those games that...
Did it make you like mentally challenged and overweight?
I think I got all F's on my progress report because of that game. Because I went, Call of Duty 4, I'll give it a try, and then I went, duh.
And then you played Call of Duty 4.
Yeah. and then I went home and played Call of Duty 4. But yeah, that game, that's the first like multiplayer game I ever played, and it's what got me into online gaming, and really like what got me into coming home and like looking forward to playing a game, like thinking about a game I want to play in school. Like I can't really think of like a game that like it was just one of the first games I was addicted to or like really really into. So I feel like I gotta make it one of my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I will say Call of Duty as a series has definitely earned itself a bad name now, but like earlier on, like Call of Duty 2, I wouldn't give it an honorable mention or top 5, but like the PS2 ones were fun. And then when you get into Call of Duty 4, like one of the first next gen ones, the story was fun, like the gameplay was fun. Like the story felt like realistic. Like, I mean, as far as video games go, now you play Advanced Warfare and you have jetpacks and all that other stuff, and like they're trying to be more futuristic. But I really liked at the time they were trying to grasp quality. It's a really cool sniping mission. It's just. It's a lot of fun, and I also have a lot of memories and again a lot of nostalgia from that. So I feel like again that might be kind of weighing in on why it's my top 5.
That was the first Xbox 360 game I beat. It was a really good game.
Another one, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
We thought that might be on.
I thought you might have said Vice City.
I almost put Vice City and then I put San Andreas mainly because I spent more time. What it came down to was I spent more time on San Andreas. Like, Vice City was the first Grand Theft Auto I ever played, and it blew my mind. Like, I sat down and I went, what do you do? And then I was playing with my cousin. He went, whatever you want. I went, whatever I want in a video game. And yeah, just the fact that you could walk up to anybody and steal a car and, do whatever. And especially in San Andreas, they added like a whole bunch of different mechanics. Like you could go to like and get a haircut and get tattoos and get your clothes changed.
If you're running from the police, you could get the color of your car changed.
Yeah, you could customize your cars in it, and you could have really cool cars, and like you could take a taxi cab and customize a taxi cab so it looks bitchin' and then pick up customers in it.
I think if you're being chased by the police, I think you can go to the Gap and change your clothes, and they won't know who you are anymore.
Yeah, I remember I spent hours buying clothes like I was shopping.
Just the awesome thing about Grand Theft Auto at all, like being able to go and do
Mafia.
that kind of thing.
The clothes, like the stores in Mafia, were really cool.
Yeah.
Sorry if I upset any listeners by this, but I remember in San Andreas, I would hop into the airport and steal a plane and try to recreate 9/11.
Were you successful?
No, because I always died.
I feel like you're the reason they didn't put planes in Grand Theft Auto 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't think they put them in 5 either, did they?
No, they did.
They're
in 5. They're definitely in 5. But I feel like in 4, I'm pretty sure Rockstar straight up mentioned they didn't want planes in Grand Theft Auto 4 because of people like Aiden Obrecht who went planes 9/11 and then
Yeah, but if you crash a plane into a building, you die anyway. How is dying not successful?
I don't know.
Like the people who committed 9/11, they didn't make it.
Are you so sure?
I'm pretty sure.
How do you know?
I didn't see anybody
Were you there?
scurry 90 floors down a building.
parachute out.
Like slide down with suction cups like Mission Impossible.
But yeah, like I was just before Aiden brought that up, I was gonna say it was the first Grand Theft Auto that they introduced
Love
airplanes in.
Mhm.
I think in Vice City they had helicopters, but they didn't have planes.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, so they introduced airplanes. The cheat codes were fun. Like in Vice City, if you put in like the cars can fly cheat, you would only fly a little bit. It was more like a boost.
Yeah.
And then in San Andreas, you could fly a car like a plane. It was so
yeah,
cool.
I remember also when they introduced bicycles in San Andreas,
Yeah.
and also
Oh,
the cheat
yeah.
where you could bunny hop really, really high and
Yeah,
bananas.
and you could do like really cool bike tricks if you did it right. Like
Yeah.
if you hit your wheel on the ground a certain way, you would like do like a 360 like really fast and you could like jump up. You could like you said, put in the bunny hop cheat and like jump up on like billboards and stuff and 360 off on other buildings. Like you
Yeah,
could basically
that-
free run on a bicycle.
That game was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I will say, I think I'm in the same boat as you two. Vice City was the first one I played, but San Andreas I put so much more time into just because there was so much more to do.
Yeah, you can get a jetpack at one point. Like
Yeah.
I really wish like
I don't know if I owned a house in that game or knew where my house was in any Grand Theft Auto game. I never knew where I lived in that game.
Yeah.
I got all
I-
these cars
yeah.
and I didn't know where to put them because I didn't know where I lived. I was
Thank
like
you.
an old person with a disease.
yeah.
Sorry, big guy.
Try to recreate 9/11.
Yeah.
I
Well, I mean, that's what Aiden
9/11.
tries to do in any video game that he plays.
Yeah.
I made cars invisible, made them fly, and then I recreated 9/11 with cars.
But yeah, that game was so good, and there's like some of the lore behind it, like there's like there to this day there's still rumors that Bigfoot is in the game and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's in the game.
I
He's
think
definitely in
rumor
Red
is
Dead.
mentioned Red Dead.
Yeah, he definitely is.
Yeah.
Because you find him and you kill him, or
Wait,
you choose
in
not
Grand
to
Theft
kill
Auto
him.
5 you're talking about?
No,
No,
Red
Red
Dead.
Dead.
He is in Grand Theft Auto 5. Like
Is
there's
he?
a mission if you 100% the game.
Well, fuck, Rob.
What?
I didn't want to go back and play that game, and now I have
Yeah,
to.
if you 100% Grand Theft Auto 5, there's a mission. Do you guys care if I spoil it?
Go for it.
All right.
So, what, spoil the story?
There's the mission where you hunt
No,
Bigfoot
yeah,
in
go
GTA
ahead.
5. All right, so Grand Theft Auto 5, 100% the game. You're out. I don't know. I'm gonna paraphrase this. Some
Spoiler
guys,
alert.
yeah, spoilers. Some guys like, yo, I think there's like I'm hunting something. It's big, right? And you're like, yo, I'll help you out. And you go wander
Big
out,
feet.
Can you care if I make oatmeal?
No.
and you wander out, right?
I just
And then
wanna know.
you start finding tracks like big, big
Foot
footprints and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And you find Bigfoot and you shoot him down, right?
Oh, damn.
And he's like, oh, it's like a cutscene and everything.
Ow.
He's like, you got me, man, And then you go, wait a minute, and then you pull off a mask, and it's a guy in a Bigfoot outfit.
What?
Yeah, it's really cool. Like, I feel like Rockstar, it's cool because they took the rumors from Grand Theft Auto San Andreas and they put it in a 5, and it was really, really cool.
Well, because Rockstar doesn't fight.
Yo, in Red Dead Redemption, I went into the Deadeye, and
Mm-hmm.
I tagged both of his knees, Bigfoot, and I shot him in his knees, and he did a front flip, and it was awesome. That's the end.
Did he die?
End
Or
of story.
Is he just really mad?
No, I'm pretty sure he died. I hope he died.
Although,
that
yeah,
was
really
my-
pissed Bigfoot
That
out
was
there.
my mission.
I got one more game, and I feel like it's either going to be one of your favorites or in your honorable mentions, The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah.
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 I was gonna put that in my honorables also.
Yeah, like I remember when that game was coming out, you were really excited for it, and you were like, I think every day in school you talked to me at least something about it, and I wasn't gonna get it at first. I pre-ordered that game the day before it came out, because I was thinking about getting it for so long, and I'm like, I guess I'll get it. Bought it, and I loved it. I don't remember the first time I played that game. I just remember when I did play it. It was awesome. Like the story in the beginning, like you're like, oh yeah, I'll play The Last of Us, whatever this game is, and then like 20 minutes into the game, you're contemplating your life and what you've done to this moment.
Yeah, it's that whole game. Like, never has a game been such a perfect package of gameplay, online, and story all merged together perfectly into one disc. And I can play all of them and enjoy them all
Yeah.
so much.
And the
Yeah.
cinematics of it.
Yeah, like a
Oh
lot
my
of people
God.
say like The Last of Us is a really good movie. They don't say it's a really good game, which annoys me because the story is great, and I will say that I want to say throughout that entire game, if you count just the cutscenes, it's over 2 hours. which is a lot. But at the same time, the gameplay is fun. It's smooth. Like the combat is amazing. When you upgrade your weapons, like it feels like you earned it because you gotta really hunt for salvage.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find medicine,
Salvage.
Yeah.
Trying to find that in like the hardest difficulty. You can't.
Yeah. The Last of Us. It's one of those few games where, I think when I played it on PS3, loved it. Then it came out on PS4. I played through it, and then immediately, like once I beat the games, like in that sitting, started a new gameplay or like a new playthrough, and I got all the collectibles in it. I'm only 2 trophies away from platinuming that game. I have to beat it on Survivor Plus and then one of the multiplayer trophies.
I can do that for you.
Yeah. I think you beat the entire. I think the only reason that I have.
No.
No.
I just beat it a lot on survival.
Yeah, I think.
A lot.
I think the only reason I have the trophy for beating it on Survivor, I started a Survivor playthrough after I beat it on like Hard and Hard Plus. And I think you came over, and every time you came over, I think whenever I had to get food or something, you sat down, and I think you beat the Last of Us just in my house, like bit by bit, for, like over the period of 6 months.
I just beat that game more than other game.
Well, there was a really cool hospital part. I thought you should say there was there's a really good part in that.
Yeah,
game.
that game's good.
There are a lot of really good parts.
That whole game is a really good part.
One more thing that I want to mention about that game before I pass it on to Aiden or
Before I pass on.
Tyler or whoever's going.
It's going to the not so immediate left. So
Yeah, the not so immediate left. The multiplayer for that game, I will say this: when I got that game on PS3, I traded in pretty quickly, mainly because I didn't have a job. So the faster I beat that game, the faster I could get my money back and put it towards other games. But before I traded in, I said, you know what? I'll give the multiplayer a shot. The multiplayer alone kept me from trading that game in for, I want to say, at least a month. Like, I played a lot of that multiplayer. When I first got that game, I thought the multiplayer was going to be something they tossed in just to say, hey, this game has multiplayer. But no, it feels like you're playing The Last of Us in the multiplayer world.
Yeah.
It's really good.
The Last of Us was the first game ever that encouraged, like, when I beat a game, sometimes I'll be tempted to really test myself and play on the harder difficulties, but The Last of Us was a game where I played on the harder difficulties because I wanted to, but also it made the game make more sense on a harder difficulty.
Yeah.
Because everything's so much harder to find. Every bullet that you take, like, that actually hits you weighs so much more because it takes so much more of your health.
Yeah.
Like, that game is not only extra challenging on harder difficulties, it makes a lot more sense the harder you play that game.
Yeah, you can like see your character bleed out.
Yeah, I play that game on survival with no HUD or reticle as standard now, and it is so it feels so right.
Yeah.
Like everything about it it feels like that's the way that game was meant to be played. It's like being naked. It's like the way you're supposed to be. It's in its rawest form.
Next time you play that game, play it with the gore off, because apparently it's just really cool that if you take away the excess gore, it like adds even more to the game.
I believe it.
I did it to I took it off for Evil Within, and it's weird, but it's interesting.
Was that?
That was it for me.